I'm loving Dick Grayson as Batman, and especially Damian as Robin.
Fantastic.
So thanks for that, too. My question, I hope, is easy. I'm just curious, how old is Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake and these characters? 'Cause I can't figure it out.
I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? You must understand that these people aren't real, okay? And well, Batman's like a mythical figure. I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny because they don't live in the real world, right? And I've got this interesting theory that I've been developing. You know how they always say about kids? Kids can't tell the difference between fantasy and reality. And that's actually bullshit. You know, any kid, if a kid's watching The Little Mermaid, the kid knows that those crabs that are talking are nothing like the crabs on the beach that don't talk. You know, a kid really knows the difference. Then you go to an adult, and adults cannot tell the difference between fantasy and reality because you bring them fantasy, and the first thing they say is, how did he get that way? Why does he dress like that? How did that happen? It's not real. You know? Right, but and beyond that, you know, you're dealing with characters. They're not real. They exist on paper. They're real in that context, and I always say they're much more real than we are because they have much longer lives and more people know about them than know about you or I. But at the same time, we get people coming into superhero comics and saying, well, why does the power work? And how can Scott Summers shoot those beams? And what's the science of that? It's not real. There is no science. The science is the science of anything can happen in fiction and paper, and we can do anything. So I always find it really weird that adults come into fictional worlds and their first obsession is to make sense of them. Because we already got the real world. Why do you want fiction to be like the real world? We've got the real world. You know, and fiction can do anything. So why isn't it? Why do people say, let's ground this, or how do we make this realistic? You can't make it realistic because it's not. You know, and so basically, Batman is 75 years old. And Robin is 74 years old, you know. But they never grow old, and because they're different from us, they're paper people. Okay?